everyone, we're back again on yet another episode on Meghna Khanna. She's a wonderful woman. She just spoke about her motorcyclist coaching and her riding the motorbike, but she is balancing the masculine and her feminine aspect of her wonderfully with her passion projects such as the Bindi project and her being a stylist as well as Levitate with Meghna. So let's throw some light on that. So hi Meghna, can you tell us what the Bindi project is about?
I thank you so much. And we speak about, yes, the masculine and the feminine, motorcycling and bindis. How did I kind of come to doing this together? I don't know. I just feel that I have epitomized every woman. I'm also Durga, I'm also Parvati, I have two children, I'm also Kali, I'm also embracing that there is not just one linear way of being and there is just not one aspect of doing, right? The Bindi project started for me when I was talking to a few women and they spoke about how their mothers and grandmothers used to wear gold bindis for special occasions. And this was something that they had a reusable glue and they would use that. And it got me thinking because I was like, wow, there's something like a reusable element to something like the bindi, which I always saw just stuck to the bathroom mirror, when growing up with my mother. And then I realized that, okay, I wanted to create bindis out of something that was an upcycling project, which I started with scrap leather, which was in metallic scrap leather because my friend was making bags. And I said, okay, give me that scrap leather and I'll hand cut them. I had a cutting tools and I started with that. And we used something like the bindi glue, which was available in any fancy store. And I had no idea about it. But creating bindis that were statement pieces and really like style statements. So that's exciting for me.
So Bindi glue is something very new to me as well. Is it safe to wear, the Bindi glue?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a skin safe adhesive that you would think about like how eyelash glue or when you do face painting or like when you put stuff on the face for kids even. So this is a very skin safe adhesive that I use and it's 100% safe. So yeah, it's it's fine.
So the kind of styling that I've seen on you is something, like as I said, I usually find it in very rare journalists on TV, or if I travel to, let's say, Rajasthan or Gujarat or Himachal. Like I went recently to Himachal and there I saw a very old lady with a very big bindi, very beautiful looking, and she had these big nose pins and I was like, wow, this is such a statement. But this is hardly seen these days. So how did you explore that market of the youngsters, having your bindis and your style statements onto them?
So I like to fill in the blanks. I like to fill in the gaps. When I was just about 23 years old, I started a store called Levitate, which was in Bangalore, and I used to sell really big nose pins. I was one of the first people in the country to sell really big nose pins to women who would wear tiny diamonds on screw, and I was trying to tell them to change that and wear these different silver nose pins. And it was not an easy conversion, right? It's not an easy conversion even today for when I was to ask women to wear big bindis or to explore their style or to do something different in that sense. It's not an easy ask. But at the same time, expressing and enjoying our shringar, the aspect of the feminine beauty and the feminine divine that is within all of us, right? Accepting that and exploring that, expressing ourselves. I think that is key, and it's not easy. It's a small initiation, and it's an inception of thought that I think I do, and I hope that people experience. And each time somebody orders my bindis and online at the Bindi project on Instagram, and then they write back to me and saying that I got them and they're so beautiful and I love how I feel and I feel like so powerful. And I think that is something that is such an amazing feedback for me. So slowly things are changing.
So you're very connected to your roots, being a woman of today. I would congratulate you on that as well. What I wanted to also say was the big bindis, like as you said, that was part of a woman's shingar. Like when people used to get married, they used to have, haath mein kada and, that bindi, and then you had these toe rings, and then you have these nose pins. And as you said, I'm wearing a very tiny nose pin and I'm very tempted to try yours, big nose pins as well. But do you think what you are bringing to the table is catering to a certain niche or genre of people? Or is it for everyone? Because not everyone would want to wear like big bindis or like big nose pins. So what are the characteristics of people that you're looking at, and what are the genres that you're targeting?
So you're very right. This is not for everyone. Like learning to ride a motorcycle is not for everyone, or to wear a big bindi, or to wear a big nose pin, or some. This is for people who don't want to like kind of blend in or not express themselves. So I think that is key to understand. Is this is just a form of expression. This is just to have fun, and this is to like the part of the shringar, like just to enjoy self-expression without any kind of restriction, or to say that this is what you must do, or this is how you should be putting yourself across. I think it's beyond and above all these things, to just enjoy and to be able to express yourself. I think that's very important.
Yeah. So guys, I'm wearing a beautiful bindi. She just gifted me based on what I'm wearing, and she said the red would go perfect, and it is going perfect indeed. So what I wanted to also know was like what kind of dressing would go with your bindis? Is it only the saris, or is it like other Western dress could go?
So the Bindi project, Bindis are quite something where we have a range. So it's either if you're like into traditional, uh, you know, creating a traditional statement, or to even like we do very metallic champagne colors that you can actually wear with Western clothes. You can actually wear on a beach. You can actually wear to a party, and it's just about you can wear it as body jewelry. And I now give like a little bottle of adhesive, of bindi adhesive with it, so you can continue to use them, because they also kind of have semi-precious stones on them, and they're embellished, so they're really beautiful. I don't want it to go to waste, so this is a glue that I give with the bindis today, and you can actually reuse them, and it's not restricted to Indian clothes. I think we as Indians have such a great a plethora of styles that we can imbibe, from different states, from different cultures, from our mothers, from our grandmothers, from our favorite artists, our actresses that we are inspired by. So keeping all this in mind, I think just fusion style is very, very, it's very trending right now, and we can always take a little piece from that.
How do you come up with new designs for the bindis every day? And do each set of bindis have different bindis, or are they similar?
So they are a similar size, because I've noticed that some women wear a certain size of bindi. And the thing is that nothing really happens to bindis. I've met women in the whole process of my research for the bindi project. I met women who said that they've been married for like 20 odd years, and their mother-in-law gave them a box of bindis, and they still use the bindis from those boxes. So it's just something that nothing happens to it, and I would like it to be a statement that can be used for a long time to come. So yeah, they come in a certain size but different colors, and you can actually customize as well. So that's what I do.
Okay. So where can we find them, and what are your future plans regarding the Bindi project?
So I am right now only on Instagram, and I am going to be setting up a website. And we wouldn't have thought that the Bindi project would just started off as just an upcycling project, but it's become so much more than that. And I'm so blessed. And each time, each bindi that I sit and work with, I have the Devi mantra with my headphones, and it is an invocation of the Devi within us. And I just hope that I can reach more and more women across the world, women and men. It's a tika, and it's just a form of self-expression and love. So a lot of love is put into each bindi. So a lot of times, like people are passing by and they're like, they'll be like, "Oh my God, Usha the bindis," and that is really true, because the bindis are. I did create bindis for Usha Uttup ji, and she's so amazing. It just happened to be through like friends that I actually met up with her daughter Anjali, who's also so beautiful, and she took bindis for Ushanti, and it was just amazing that it actually happened, because everybody would be like, who should be wearing your bindis? It should be Usha Uttam should be wearing your bindis, as if she was my aunt and waiting for me to send her bindis. This is not the case, but like so beautifully everything fell into place, and I could actually send her a gift of bindis, and she actually wore it and did a little video for me, and it's on my page, and I'm so grateful for that.
So can you throw light on Levitate with Meghna? What I've heard is that you started with very small setting. And how far has it reached so far?
So it's changed form. I was 23 years old when I started my store Levitate in Bangalore. I'd just finished my master's. I'd worked corporate for a year in Bombay, and then I quit everything and I moved to Bangalore, and I started a hole in the wall small store called Levitate. It was in a restaurant, and I ran it for 18 years till COVID hit, and then I shut shop in 2020. But it has changed form in the sense that I now style women, and I encourage a more sustainable approach to fashion and styling. I run a charity-based thrift store called the Pre-Loved Co., which wherein what happens is that we work with donations of really nice fashion wear. Basically, India has been a very circular fashion platform, has always had that, where people could give their clothes to their house help, or we remember giving saris and getting bartans in return, like utensils and stuff like that. And here what has happened is that because the Indian women are also living different lives, right? Wherein we're doing something else on a Monday, we are meeting our girlfriends on Friday. Like, there is always so much board meetings on a Wednesday. So there are different personality types that we are living within us, that the Pre-Loved Co. also now provides a platform for people to donate the clothes that they cannot donate to their house help, or keep it in the circle, keep that circular fashion platform going. So we provide that, and we work with donations, and we raise funds for charity. So it's been a great transition from actually, I do miss Levitate, because we were doing a lot of Indian handicrafts and jewelry and design, but there have been a lot of great players that have come into the market and are carrying on the cause. So I just feel like that work is going on, and this creating the circular fashion where things get used more often. Today, fast fashion just allows people, and the day of Instagram, right, allows somebody to only wear clothes maybe 4 or 5 times, when actually it should be worn about 50. So if you're not wearing your clothes, please donate them.
Thank you so much, Meghna. So how do you sift through the clothes that people have donated and sell it through, taking particular pieces out of them and making it reusable for people to come and buy them?
So you will be amazed, Ankita, the kind of fashion wear that we get, and we get clothes with labels on them, literally with tags and prices sometimes, because people realize that the best way to help somebody is to help yourself, actually, by clearing out your closet. The weight that we hold on us in our mind is actually all the things that we are hoarding. So it's amazing how that happens, and a lot of them send really great fashion wear, and we have they are washed, they are dry cleaned, they are ironed, and they are put up for sale. And on the other hand, when things not in a great space, then we kind of pass it on for recycling, for upcycling, and also we pass them on as donations to homes for children, for elderly, for the backward, financially backward classes. So that is something that we do. But our primary aim is to get clothes that we can sell, so that we can raise funds, so that people can eat. It's not like we can't eat clothes. We're not a place that you can donate clothes that we can give to somebody. We are selling the clothes. So that's where the change is happening.
So what I can confidently say about you is that you've been shifting form throughout your life. As you said, like from 23, you were with Levitate with Meghna, and then Pre-Love, and now you also do, style consultancy, and you're also a motorcyclist coach, and the Bindi project, and other things as well. Could you also throw light on how did you become the style consultant, and what are some of the ideas that you'd like to give the next generation?
That's true that there are so many hats being worn by me. It is true, but luckily for me, I have been able to connect the dots in terms of what are the important things that are coming forth in this, right? And it is about sustainability and empowerment, right? It is about when I talk about Levitate with Meghna, it's not only about personal styling, it's also about personal brand building. So it is for women entrepreneurs. It is about women. I also do workshops for women who are starting off on their homegrown brands, or they've been running it for a long time, but find it difficult to put themselves out there. So this is empowering. For me, it's empowering because they need to be able to take that step to be themselves and to put themselves out there. So I encourage that. And I think it's been a complete connecting of the dots in that sense. So as far as styling is concerned, right, it has been something that we have seen over the years. At Levitate, I've had like, I used to run a store, so women would come in, and what do we end up telling ourselves when we look in the mirror? It's very important. So while I'm a personal stylist, I also call myself a style therapist, which means that just accepting who you are and where you are, and being okay with it. It's also very important. You can have the most amazingly overflowing wardrobe, you can have the world's richest most expensive clothes, but is it bringing you joy? So how do you find joy in your dressing? And to find your personal style, it came to me because I've also trained to be an image consultant, and I've trained to be like a personal stylist. Being able to bring that together for my clients, it really helps me empower them and also give them a voice that is uniquely themselves. And it's very important. It's very important for each woman, because each time we stand in front of the mirror, in front of our wardrobe, and look at our overflowing cupboards, and who else is like this, and say that we have nothing to wear, I have nothing to wear, and with overflowing cupboards, the cupboard is bursting at the seams, but we are not satisfied. So finding a personal style is very important for us to ease that process, to find comfort and to feel good and look good when we dress up and step out. So it's just been a natural kind of flow for me, and I think it's a very important thing today that women should consider, because when we look at each other as friends, then you're also looking at it from your point of view. You're reflecting your point of view on your friend and saying, I think you should be wearing that. But that's not a professional's view. A professional's view will make you stand in front of the mirror and see it for yourself. It's an objective view. You will see it for yourself if you come to a professional stylist to see what works for you. And I think that those days of being almost like secretive and shy about having to engage a stylist, today it should be a thing of pride, that you're actually saving money, you're actually saving the environment, you're actually making great and confident decisions. And you're also saying that I have somebody who has helped me put something together that I am proud of. So I think more and more people have to speak in this instead of us floundering and feeling alone. I want to support women. So it is about that empowerment.
Do you want to talk about the sessions you had with the Radiant Repute today and the lovely woman that you met today?
It was such a lovely session, and I'm so glad to have done our first session at Radiant Repute in Hyderabad. And what was the most, what really caught me is that so many women here, and we all spoke about the stories that we have attached, the labels that we have attached to ourselves from our childhood, whether it was being tomboys, or whether it was being rebels, and whether it was about not being able to figure out what style we wanted to own in our space. So having said all of that, it was really interesting to have all these women, whether they were corporates or doctors or or creators, all come together and express themselves and learn actually from us on how they can style better. So I think that was key and a good takeaway.
So one thing I wanted to ask you was, have you ever taken up a conventional job, or has it always been an experimental jobs that you've picked up, like being an entrepreneur? And how, being an entrepreneur, you would suggest that women should go about what they wish, and how easy or difficult was it for you to manage the monetary aspect of your passion project turning into reality?
So yeah, there are two questions there. Yeah, I did have a normal job. I worked corporate market research, qualitative market research for about a year. That was my first and only corporate job before I quit it all and started my own company, started my own store. But I just want to say that, um, when you're walking in a forest, and I'd heard this analogy, and that's when I'd kind of quit, is that when you're walking in a forest and you realize that you walked for many days, but you've been walking in the wrong direction, and then what do you do? What do you do? Do you continue to walk in that direction because you've already walked, but you know that your path is in the opposite direction? What do you do? So the only thing that I could think was that I had to turn around and walk in the path that I was called to. And honestly, it was not then that I decided that I'm going to start my own business. I just knew that I did not want to be in the space that I was, in the corporate space, and I wanted to do something different. So that was my biggest calling, and I had to follow my dreams. I didn't have the duty of where I had to support my family, and a lot of people have that, and they find it difficult to follow their dreams and to follow their passions. But I didn't have that, so I felt that it was my duty to follow my passion, and that was something that was really important to me. And the second thing is about monetization, right? I think that if you go with creating a product or your self brand, and you put out good value, you create value and you make something different and you put it out there, then you will get monetary returns. But you cannot go with that whole thing about achievement, right? I think for me it was creating a sustainable differential advantage. That is what the one thing that I learned in my MBA, and I have taken in my life, is creating a sustainable differential advantage. And I think that financial gain or like remuneration just comes from that. It comes from creating value. So I think that should be the key that a lot of young people should go with today. Create something of value, give of yourself, give that 10% extra, because you will get returns for it. You will get, but experience. Don't chase money right now. Do something which creates value and solves problems for the world, guys. Do that first.
So, Meghna, I think that you have come a long way in your journey from being a daughter of a fighter pilot and a mom who's a badminton player and an author, and your daughters who must be looking up to you for the kind of things that you've been doing. Do you have any other thing to tell to our audiences right here?
Well, I think as a woman entrepreneur, the most important to set that expectation from yourself, in fact, that I'm going to take that time out and I'm going to do things for myself, right? I think that we take care of everybody around us, but our needs we don't learn to put forward. So I think creating that time and creating that putting that rule out there that I'm going to work on myself, I think that helped my kids also to understand that respect for their mother. I think that it puts out a signal into the world that take me seriously, and I'm here to create value, and I'm here to be seen. So I think that is important for every woman entrepreneur.
Thank you so much, Meghna. It was wonderful having you here. This is Ankita signing off.
Thank you so much, Ankita. This was lovely. It was a lovely experience for me as well. Thank you.